Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Everything is Bad New Fangled Motion Picture Show.
Welcome, one and all, to another episode of the New Fangled Motion Picture Show. I'm your host, Niall, Master of Evil.
And I'm Nolan, Novice of Evil.
And today we're going to be reviewing Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. Which is like, man, that's like such an 80s like sword and sorcery title, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
I guess.
Other than, like, you could put in any fantasy sounding name in there. Any female fantasy sounding name in there, Mistress of Evil, and it sounds like a subtitle for a Conan story, you know?
Yep.
So, before we get into that, bit of housekeeping. We're going to do our normal thing where we do a spoiler-free review. Not that there's much to spoil, because it's a fairly predictable movie. And then we're going to give you a spoiler warning. We're going to go more in depth into it after that. So, without further ado, this is our review of Angelina Jolie's cheekbones.
They're sharp.
They real sharp. So this is a movie that no one asked for. No one wanted. And it was better than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah, I think it was better than the previous one.
I think it might have been better than Maleficent.
Yeah. It's got a 7.1 right now on IMDb, and I think that's fair. I enjoyed the movie.
Yeah. If you're into like high fantasy stuff, particularly dealing with like fae and fairies and that sort of thing, like actual fae stories, not, Tinkerbell fairies.
Yeah. More like a Midsummer
Night's Dream.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, much closer to that. Like Maleficent, very much getting vibes of like Winter Court Queen from her. Queen Mab. So, yeah, this movie, it's a fun fantasy movie. It's fairly predictable. Once you immediately see who the people are, and there's a person who's very clearly the villain, like right from the get-go.
They don't even really try to hide it.
Yeah, they do, because they don't come out and say it right away, but
it's the worst kept secret.
Yeah.
Everyone knows. Well, everyone in the audience knows. I mean,
yeah.
And like I said, they don't really hide that this character is the villain and that they are evil, but they hide what they're doing, why they're doing it, and how they're doing it until the end.
Yeah, and I mean, because it's a Disney fantasy movie, there's some things in there that are a little bit like Deus Ex Machina. Where it's like, there's some things where it's like, oh, we kind of need to explain this. We're gonna have something real brief, but just because we're just sort of wedging this in here, and this is how we're solving the problem. Or in one case, this is how we're causing a problem. So, but I enjoyed the movie.
It's I think it benefited from, like, when the previous one, they had to try to fit the story around the original story of Sleeping Beauty and how they needed to rework things. But in this, they didn't have such limitations, and it very much feels like any modern fantasy story. You just go find random fantasy novel written in the last 20 years, and it feels a lot like that sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely. Cool like costuming and set design and stuff. Really cool makeup on the I don't think it's a spoiler to say there's other people like Maleficent, right? Because they're all over the poster and the ads.
Yep.
So, and like really cool character design on some of them.
There's this little fey creature that should have been the design for the new Sonic the Hedgehog.
It was a better Sonic the Hedgehog than the one that was in that first trailer.
It's this little bipedal hedgehog thing.
Yep.
And it's adorable, and it makes this little chittering noise.
It has this little chittering dialogue, and what is it called? It has a
name from Maleficent, and it's like Malifaboo or something like that. Like you can't say her name or something.
Yeah, like you could tell that it's that thing's word from Maleficent.
Yeah,
it's
adorable.
It's
so cute. But if like Sonic was just that, because this thing's only about 5 inches tall or so.
Yeah, it's pretty short.
If
Sonic was just a big version of that,
in blue,
it would have been better.
Yeah.
Although it looks like from that leaked, not to get off topic here, but it looks like that from that leaked poster, like leaked like Wednesday or something like that. It looks like they might have fixed his character design. So thanks for slaving away, 3D animators, and crunching that in.
Yep.
So, but anyway, yeah, this movie it's got some like cool fantasy settings, like magical forests, giant fantasy castles, a lot of magic use, and like cool fantasy fighting, and just kind of everything you want from a magical fantasy movie about dark fae.
Yep.
So, I recommend seeing it. In fact, I recommend seeing it in theater. I think it's one of those movies that does benefit from seeing on the big screen.
Yeah, especially the last act, just a lot of visual effects going on.
Well, like everything that's not inside the castle, every shot that's not inside that castle, is just a lot going on the screen. Even just like real calm scenes in that magical forest, there's just a lot to take in.
That forest is halfway to Pandora. Yeah, it's like
it looks like
stuff going on.
It looks like a Magic the Gathering land card. It's a lot to look at. So yeah, just check it out.
Definitely.
So anything else to say that's non-spoilery?
No.
All right. So henceforth are spoilers. You've been warned. So this movie is pretty predictable. Like from the get-go, we're like, all right, the queen is evil. Like in that kitchen room, like in the dining room, like immediately, like, well, the queen poisoned the king, obviously.
Yeah.
And like it's this reveal, like, I think the only reveal was like how she did it.
Yeah, that was the reveal. Like everyone in the audience knew she poisoned the king.
I can't tell if we were not meant to know. I don't know. I don't know if it was poorly held secret or if they didn't care if we knew.
Yeah.
I kind of don't know.
I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and feel that like they were telling us.
Yeah, because when she like leans down to the king and whispers in his ear like, "You always wanted peace, well rest in peace," and it was like real malicious.
Well, was it prior to that or after that where she went down into her dungeon where they were making the anti-fae weapons? So
I don't remember.
Because at some point, either before that or shortly after that, they revealed that she's been having these anti-fae weapons manufactured. So we already know that she wants to create a war with the fae.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So
I think that was actually before the.
So you think we were meant to know?
Yeah, I think we were meant to know. We just weren't. We just didn't know how until they reveal the spinning wheel, and Aurora finds the spinning wheel and realizes that, if anybody is pricked by that needle, they're going to be cursed to sleep, and not just her.
Yeah. So. But yeah, and Maleficent gets saved by some.
So that's another Deus Ex Machina is Choodle Ejiofor being there to save her.
Yeah.
Why was he there?
Like, were they all just watching her for years?
Yeah. I kind of get the feeling that they might have been because they knew about Aurora and
her powers
and the events of the previous movies. So maybe they were.
Yeah, that could be, or at least they were watching her enough to know that she was going to the castle. See, like I think it would have benefited from a scene of like, some creature that was in Aurora's court, like going and talking to Ejiofor and like chittering some, BS fake Fey language in his ear, and he like goes and reports to his friends like, "Oh, she's going to the human castle. We gotta make sure someone's there to protect her." Like I think it would have benefited from a scene like that.
I mean, maybe there was a scene. I mean, the movie is already at 2 hours. Maybe they cut something out. Who knows?
Yeah. I think they could have cut out some of the fighting scenes at the end.
Yeah, they could have trimmed that a little bit. I don't think it was overly long, but I could see where, like, if they needed time and something else, they could have easily cut that down.
Yeah. Well, like, they spent way too long dealing with that church and the organ. Like, that whole sequence could have been shorter.
Well, it would have been shorter if the Fae were willing to do anything to protect themselves.
Yeah, I mean, frankly, you deserve to die at that point.
Mm.
Like, when you have the easy means to defend yourselves and you choose not to do anything about it, because that's a choice.
Yeah.
One of those tree people could have reached up and grabbed her and threw that chick through a stained glass window.
Yep.
You know, like, at any time. So, yeah. But otherwise, I mean, yeah, it was a good movie. Lots of fantastical things to see. Magical lands, all that. I did find it interesting that, like, Maleficent, I always kind of figured as, like, a unique being. I mean, she has, like, god-level powers. I always figure her to be, like, queen of a Fae court sort of thing and be a fairly unique being. And she's unique in that she's the most powerful magically of the dark
Yeah, I was
Fae.
going to say, like, there are, it turns out, more of her species, which for some reason she didn't know existed.
They could have stood to explain why that was.
Yeah, that was weird. But anyway, there's actually quite a few of her species, but she is far and above more powerful than all of them.
And way more pale than all of them.
Yeah, most of them were ethnic. We'll put that.
Yeah. And I mean, we say that because it's like, yeah, there was like ones that were, I mean, obviously Ejiofor is black.
There was
a lot of Asian ones, and like Central Asian.
Yeah.
In there. So yeah, it's definitely in fact, I would say mostly non-white.
Yeah.
But
there were a few white ones, like the what's his name, who's in Mad Max.
Yeah,
is the other main one. I don't remember his name.
Screen? No.
Yeah, Ed Skrein.
Yeah, Ed Skrein. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah. So anyway, but unimportant. It's just, you know, a lot of cool visual effects to look at. A lot of fairly tropey, high fantasy stuff. And I mean, this didn't have to be a Maleficent movie, frankly.
No.
I mean, I think it fits well in the universe they've built for it.
I like that. I don't know if it came up in the first movie, but the Fae's aversion to iron.
Oh yeah,
plays a big part in this.
It does play a big
part
part
of the legends.
Yep. Cold iron burns Fae.
So they basically cast these balls of iron, load them in arbalests or crossbows, and launch them at the...
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, why didn't they just have iron-tipped bolts, which is what they would be using anyway? I mean, it was weird to me for them to have a specific... like a scene specifically showing like, oh, these are our anti-Fae weapons.
Yeah,
they're made of iron. And it's like
they would have iron-tipped arrows and bolts.
All of your weapons are iron and steel.
Well, because they even had a scene where Philip holds a sword to the neck of one of them, and it burns them. So I mean, just the sword.
Although after the fighting, the Fae all help up the knights off the ground and stuff, and they're just like patting them on their armored shoulders. One guy's like grabs this guy around his like iron gauntlet and lifts him, helps lift him up, and
we're like
grab onto their chainmail shirts, and we're like, whoa, hold on a second, wait a damn minute, this you're breaking your own rules here.
Yeah.
Especially when
they all have mithril armor.
Yeah, it's all oiled. Don't worry, it's all lacquered steel. And it's like, especially when you spend like such a big part of your big plot point is focused around the fact that this material hurts these beings badly, burns them. It seems weird that they wouldn't have any problems with grabbing these guys' armor.
The other thing that was kind of weird to me. So Warwick Davis plays this like little troll character who serves the queen, developing anti-Fae weapons. not really sure why, other than she's just sort of enslaved him. And at the end, he just kind of has this change of heart and helps the Fae when he was like trying to stop them.
Yeah, they don't really do a good job of explaining why he had this change of heart.
Yeah.
But so yeah,
He had a cool like little mechanical like device to like raise him up to like table height.
yeah, move him down the table and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else to add to that?
No.
Yeah,
I recommend the movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I think the 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb that it has right now is fair. Like, it's a good movie, not a great movie. Not even... I think it's probably not even the best live action... Like... Live action... It's not really a live action version of an animated movie. It's like a sequel to a live action version of an animated movie. But I don't think it's even... It's definitely not even the best of those. The best of those is probably Beauty and the Beast, just because it's like a direct copy of an already really good movie.
Yeah.
So, Jungle Book.
Jungle Book was pretty
Jungle
good.
Book is really good. I
liked Aladdin quite a bit too.
Yeah. So yeah, there's definitely these live action movies that Disney's been cranking out. There's ones that are definitely better than this for sure. But it was pretty good. Better than Lion King, I think.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so our next movie we're going to be reviewing is Zombieland Double Tap. And, we will be... Let's see. There's a bunch of stuff coming up because we're at that time of year where there's a bunch of movies coming up. It's exciting. Like, through the end of the year, we're pretty much set. We've got The Lighthouse this coming weekend. Willem Dafoe and I can never remember the other guy's name.
Robert Pattinson.
And that's it. And it's like looks kind of like a one-room play almost. So that'll be interesting. And then we got Terminator Dark Fate, which is over 2 hours long. Yes. And it looks really cool. It's got Arnold back. Kick some ass.
Looks like he's gotten pretty good shape for it too.
Yeah.
He let himself go for a while.
He looks like if everyone's dad got in shape, that's what they'd look like. Then there's this movie that I don't really know much about called The Irishman, but it's directed by Martin Scorsese and it's got Robert De Niro and Al Pacino in it, so it's probably going to be pretty good. Motherless Brooklyn looks interesting. Gonna be seeing Midway, and that doesn't look interesting. It's 138 minutes?
Wow.
Oh, man. And it doesn't look great. It's got Woody Harrelson with white hair with a part in it, and it bothers me. Doesn't look right for Woody Harrelson. Nolan's real excited for Charlie's Angels.
That's a lie.
That movie looks really bad.
I'm excited for it to be out of theaters, so I don't see any trailers anymore.
Yeah, Ford vs. Ferrari looks really cool. I'm excited about that. It's got Christian Bale, Matt Damon in it, and John Bernthal. What's not to like? Right? We're probably going to see The Good Liar just because it's got Helen Mirren and Ian McKellen in it. I don't even really care what it's about. That's enough. Right? And then obviously we're gonna see Frozen 2 because everyone's gonna see Frozen 2. You wanna know what's going on in the public zeitgeist? You gotta see Frozen 2. There's gonna be memes. There's gonna be references to it. And, you gotta be in on all that. And then we round out November with Knives Out from Rian Johnson, which looks pretty cool. And then yeah, I mean like through the end of the year, I think we've got stuff like every weekend. There's Star Wars in there somewhere, another Jumanji movie. So and 1917. So yeah, that's what we got coming up through like the end of the year. So if any of that sounds of interest to you, hit that alert button or subscribe. Like the video, comment on it, scream at us and tell us why we're bad and why we should hate Maleficent because of some like probably politically motivated reasons or something like that, because that seems to be what everyone's yelling about. anytime this female leads in a movie. Or tell us why we're correct and this is a good movie. Whatever, we'll take all of it. Any interaction, we'll take it. So, until next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening.